Joshua's a power God. There's a belief. You believe in the Son, everlasting life. You believe in not the Son, and the Son, the wrath of God upon you. This is Christ. In the Bible, you say it, you won't need a fear. Born again, new creature.
Hello everybody, welcome to the campus of LSU here in Baton Rouge. Welcome wherever you're watching. It's a pretty special day here in Baton Rouge at LSU. It's the championship parade and celebration on LSU's campus, and we're happy to bring it to you live, sponsored by Hancock Whitney Bank. I'm Kyle Whitfield with the Advocate and the Times-Picayune, and really just look around us today. Pretty great day, not exactly your typical day on campus in Louisiana at LSU in January. Several thousand people lined up for the championship parade today. Several thousand more will walk across the street at the Maravich Center. It's going to be a great day, and we're glad you're with us today. The plan for today is basically the parade will start around 11 a.m. It'll roll a little bit, and then the players and the coaches will get off, and they'll go into the Maravich Center. So really, the rain is held off too, knock on wood. The weather looks great, the crowd is great, and so it's going to be a great day. Again, this live presentation is brought to you by Hancock Whitney Bank, and we'd like to bring over here Robert Schneckenberger, regional president, at Hancock Whitney. And Robert, this is a special day, isn't it?
Oh, thank you, Kyle. This is just amazing. It looks like game day on Victory Hill.
It really does. And so tell us a little bit about why Hancock Whitney is so invested in LSU and really takes pride in its partnership with the university.
You know, this absolutely is a no-brainer for us. You know, what LSU did this year is unbelievable. What they did for the state of Louisiana is unbelievable. You know, they started in 1860. Our roots in this state go back to the 1880s. And to be part of it and say how important LSU is to Louisiana and to say we're invested in this community, it's a no-brainer to do it. We're happy to do it. Our folks are here, our communities are here, they work here. We're part of it, and so is LSU.
And you talk about community investment. What are some of the things in maybe 2020 that are on the horizon for Hancock Whitney in terms of investment in the community?
You know, it's great. We just recently opened up some offices in Northwest Louisiana. So we're going to expand that in 2020. So we hope to bring those Tiger credit cards and Tiger debit cards up to Northwest Louisiana. We're looking forward to it.
How popular are those LSU-themed credit cards and debit cards? I think everybody has one.
You know, they're really pretty popular. But I'll tell you, they've become a heck of a lot more popular after this past Monday. So we're excited about that.
And then what other, maybe some community projects the company has in mind for 2020? Some things you guys are looking forward to coming up?
You know, again, we're really invested in South Louisiana. It's where our roots are. It's in most respects, it's kind of our hometown. And so, you know, we have people that head the United Way in New Orleans. We have people that head the United Way here in Baton Rouge. And we work together with all those charities to make sure that it's a community that we all want to live in, that we're growing and expanding and make it better for everybody else.
From one local company to another local company, this is really great. We can't thank Hancock Whitney enough for being a sponsor today, sponsor of the parade, a supporter of LSU and the Advocate and the Times-Picayune. We can't thank you all enough, Robert. So
Kyle,
thank you for coming today.
Go Tigers.
When the parade passes here, make sure to throw a lot our way, okay?
We can.
Thank you very much. Robert Schneckenberger from Hancock Whitney, y'all. So we really want to thank those folks for their sponsorship today. Again, a great crowd out today. The parade will start around 11 a.m. Take a couple minutes to make our way. We're actually here on Victory Hill. The parade will come around this way, come down Victory Hill with the band. We're told about 6 or 7 or maybe 8 floats, and then wind their way into the Maravich Center, where again, another couple thousand people will be on hand for the celebration there. So we'll come back live in a few minutes, right around 11 a.m. to show you where the parade is, to give you live coverage, and can't wait for the party to start.
move that way a little bit. Wait.
Well, welcome back, y'all. We wanted to spend some time with the editor of The Advocate, the Times-Picayune, Peter Kovacs. Peter, like I was talking to Robert Schneckenberger and Hancock Whitney, pretty special day here.
This really is, and we appreciate everything Hancock Whitney did for us. Also what the Manship School did. We're standing outside the Manship School, and this has also not just been a great experience for this huge crowd, and it's been a great experience for our readers, and it's been a great experience for our journalists. It's also been a great experience for their reporters and photographers who got to go to the game. Caleb Green, the editor, was telling me they had 3 or 4 reporters and 3 photographers, on the field for the game. And I know, they'll remember that as long as they live. Were you at LSU when they won a national championship?
I was at LSU when Les Miles won their national championship in 2007, and that was special. This feels different. This is Joe Burrow and the offense and the superstars and the dancing. I mean, it feels a little bit different this year, I think.
No, I think it does too. For one thing, it's an epic team. It may be one of the best. I don't know. People are saying whether it's one of the best college football teams ever, it may be one of the best seasons ever in terms of who they beat and winning 15 games. They won more games than the Saints. People don't realize that, but they won 15 games, which I remember when I was young that nobody even played 15 games. They played 10 games or something like that. So, that's great. It's great to see this huge crowd. It looks like Endymion out here. And I didn't really know whether people were going to just come to the parade or try to go into the PMAC, which we can see down there, but I don't think we can tell whether people are, whether it's full or not. But people seem to have decided to start Mardi Gras early.
It certainly looks like it. And I was having a conversation with a friend the other day. Think about this, Peter. There's a big chunk of people who have seen in their lifetime 4 LSU football national championships and a Saints Super Bowl championship. I mean, that's wild.
I've always thought that who would have thought at the beginning of this century, for people even my age, and I was a baby in 1958, that we would see so much football success here. It's just spectacular. I don't know if everybody reads Smiley Andrews' column, but Smiley Andrews was at LSU at the Reveille when LSU won the 1958 national championship.
Smiley's seen it all. He's seen all the good times.
Yeah, he's going to be around for, I don't know, 3 or 4 more, and I'll be in the rest home, and Smiley will still be writing his column.
Peter, talk a little bit about the newspaper itself. What is the role of the newspaper in the community during these big feel-good events in the state?
Well, when you're in the newspaper business, you cover so much bad news. It's really fun once in a while to cover good news, and to something the community celebrates in. And the great thing about this is most of what you cover in the newspaper business is stuff that divides people, and this is something that unites people. So it's been a pleasure, and we have been selling memorabilia out of our offices, and at times we had 6 selling stations with lines 2 and 3 people deep. I think we're open this morning again, and people just can't get enough of it. I see people walking out with souvenir front pages and things, and I'm thinking you're gonna have to build another room on your house in order to frame all this,
or just your living room.
So, or you can replace something in your living room, or one of the things that we're selling is the Billy Cannon wins Heisman front page, and it's interesting how newspapering has changed, because that wasn't on the front page, and it was just a story on a sports page, on the sports front, and now you would never do that.
Certainly have come a long way since then. Like Peter mentioned, if you're interested in buying some front pages, we also have some books for sale. You can visit our offices in any 3 of our markets. You can also go to store.theadvocate.com and order the memorabilia there. We'll ship it to you as well. So a lot of ways to commemorate this. Like I said, a really special season, and we're certainly happy to be here. We have live coverage today, sponsored by Hancock Whitney, and it should be a great time. Peter, thanks for your time this morning.
Okay, well, it's great to see all these young people here. One of these little kids might be like the next Joe Burrow,
and one has a jersey on.
Yeah, one of them thinks he's Joe Burrow already. And anyhow, there's even a dog with the jersey on there, by the way. I don't know if the dog even heard of Joe Burrow.
Fandom knows no bounds,
anyhow, well, it's great to be here. We appreciate everyone viewing. This is just a terrific crowd, and it didn't rain, and it doesn't look like it's going to rain.
It will not rain.
Until this is over. And so you should see the PMAC. They're just lined up at the PMAC, and it's quite a sight.
You know, the saying is it never rains in Tiger Stadium, and the second half of that, it never rains on LSU championship parade days either. So
hopefully we'll have many more to find that out. So anyhow, thank you all for viewing.
Thank you, Peter. So really all a great scene here. We'll come back in a few minutes when the parade starts. The crowd really starting to fill in here. Quite a sight here on the campus of LSU, and we'll be back in just a few seconds. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to LSU, the campus of Louisiana State University here in Baton Rouge. It's just about 11 o'clock. The parade is about to start. You can see the crowds are, well, they're deep, y'all. Almost looks like a New Orleans parade out here. We're so happy to be here today. I'm Kyle Whitfield with The Advocate and Times-Picayune. Our live coverage today is sponsored by Hancock Whitney Bank, and we are just so thrilled to be here right outside the Manship School of Mass Communication on LSU's campus to bring you live coverage of today's championship parade and PMAC celebration. Right at 11 o'clock, the parade will start on the other side of campus. It'll come down towards Victory Hill, where we are, and go right to the PMAC for the celebration. That celebration will begin at noon. The parade is starting right about now at 11 a.m. on the other side of campus. There'll be some fighter jets, I'm told, that'll pass overhead to start off the parade. We're expecting about 6 or 8 floats. We'll have players and coaches. I've heard there'll be some beads and they'll be throwing some things. So it really should be a really festive, great atmosphere today. It's not quite a normal Saturday in January on campus. The Golden Band from Tigerland will be here. It's really just a special, special day. So again, about 6 or 8 floats. Parade's not going to be terribly long. I know there were some concerns about the weather. So far, a little bit cloudy, but that's okay. The rain is holding off, and just take a look. If you can look behind me and see, the crowds here are really, really strong. It wasn't a little bit this morning when we got here. The crowds were a little, we were waiting for them, but a late arriving, excited bunch here, again, to see this parade. Obviously, LSU was fresh off Monday night. That night, a lot of us will never forget a national championship win against Clemson at Mercedes-Benz Superdome. A really convincing second-half win against what many thought was the best team in the country. And really, LSU has shown, as you can see, quite an introduction here to the start of the parade. The fighter jets flew over, so I guess we're officially begun. We popped the cork on this baby. So really, again, LSU, Monday night, a convincing win against Clemson, particularly in the second half. And the debate rages on, y'all, about if this team here was the best team in college football history. They've set records for the amount of points scored in the season. Joe Burrow, the quarterback, basically won every national award in the book. Ed Ogeron won every coaching award in the book. The Bolitnikoff winner, the Thorpe Award winner. I mean, you name it, and this team basically accomplished it. They were certainly the most decorated team in LSU history. LSU won national championships in '58, in 2007, in 2011, and depending on who you ask, some folks there, this 2019 national championship in the year 2020 just feels a little bit different. That offense LSU put out on the field never disappointed the entire season. High-flying, dynamic. It was really, really a spectacle to watch. Sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of y'all have said to yourself, was I really watching an LSU offense there? Is that really our quarterback? It's such an interesting dynamic. And as we look forward to 2020, there'll be a lot of new faces again just in the past couple of days. Joe Brady, the decorated passing game coordinator. Again, he won the national award for best assistant coach in the country. Joe has gone off to the Carolina Panthers to be their offensive coordinator under new head coach Matt Rhule. And then Dave Aranda, the defensive coordinator who's been here since Les Miles is here. Dave, if you haven't heard, is the new head coach at Baylor. So LSU is, when you win championships, you can go ask a certain team a couple states east. This happens over time. Coaches find better jobs. They find new jobs. Players leave for the draft. LSU has had 9 underclassmen declare for the draft. We're going to leave early, some juniors. And while they return a lot of players, they've lost a lot of talent as well to the draft. But as you go through these championship cycles, it's more like a reload than it is a rebuild, and that'll be one of the biggest challenges for Coach Ed Ogeron in the next couple of years is being able to sustain it, because, and I'm sure if he was here, he would tell you that the bullseye's on LSU's back now to really perform next year. So there'll be other times to talk about next year, but again, we're waiting for the parade to make its way down North Stadium Drive via Victory Hill here. It's really going to be a special, special event. Again, after the parade is over, as it makes its way down here, the folks will head into right across the street from where we are, the Maravich Center, where a celebration is set up there. Gotta wonder, looking at the crowds here, I believe the Maravich Center's capacity is around 14,000. You have to wonder if everyone will fit in there. the school has told us that if everyone doesn't fit into the Maravich Center, that they'll set up a screen outside so people can watch. Again, the weather's cooperating so far today, so we may have an overflow crowd here. Really, really special occasion here on LSU's campus. So again, the parade will come down about 6 to 8 floats. The floats were done locally. LSU tells us that they'll have some graphic designs and some signage on there. I'm sure everyone is excited. We'll get to see Joe Burrow. We'll get to see Ed Ogeron. Maybe the championship trophy will be on display as well. So some truck-style floats will pass through that have been decorated. I'm sure the players and coaches will have some throws for us. You know, when I've been in other cities that have won national championships, you kind of get a chuckle out of their championship parades. They don't really throw anything, and the floats aren't too special. But I know today we're going to see some special floats and some throws from these folks, and they'll be excited about it. If you think back to when, you know, championships are celebrated here in a nice way. Think back to 2009 in New Orleans when there was Lombardi Gras, as it was affectionately called. You just remember the spectacle in a crowd like this, 10, 15 people deep, just waiting on the team. So much community connection here. You know, Ed Ogeron talks a lot about the connection between the entire state. He doesn't say Baton Rouge. He doesn't say South Louisiana. He talks about all of Louisiana. And really, you can sort of feel that pride here today. There are very few places in the country where there's one college football team that sort of everyone embraces. Perhaps you can make that argument in Minnesota and in Arkansas, but really here in Louisiana, you have this special combination of a championship team and a fan base throughout the entire state. You know, I've had friends who live in Michigan and some other places, and they always tell me that they're amazed by how one state can rally around an entire team. And for a native, like a lot of us, you don't think of it like that at some point. You know, in Alabama and some of these other states where their fan bases are divided. So really, it's a special feeling. You could drive in Ed Ogeron's hometown of Lafourche and drive as far north as Shreveport and Monroe, and it's purple and gold all the way. And so a special feeling, a special connection, like Ed Ogeron talks about, between the team, the university, and the state. And they have really, really showed up today, y'all. I mean, just looking into the background here, we have lines, you know, crowds 10 and 15 people deep. It almost looks like, I mean, this looks like Mardi Gras Day in New Orleans almost. I mean, this is impressive. We had kids, adults. I mean, everybody is really here expecting to see a great time, catch a glimpse of their favorite player, maybe catch something from Joe Burrow. So this is going to be special. We're waiting anxiously for that parade to arrive here. So, you know, when you look back at LSU's season and think back really what they accomplished, a lot of players were asked throughout the season, can you reflect on this? Can you reflect on this? And really they took the right answer to say, well, we're not there yet. We haven't won it yet. We're not there yet. We haven't won it yet. But thinking about what LSU has done this season, LSU this season has defeated the SEC East champion in Georgia, the Big 12 champion in Oklahoma. They've defeated everyone in their division. They've defeated the Fiesta Bowl champion in Clemson. They defeated the Sugar Bowl champion in Georgia. I mean, they obviously slayed the Dragon in Alabama. Alabama went on to win the Citrus Bowl against Michigan, and perhaps one of the most jovial parts of the season was that win in Tuscaloosa. But really, is there anyone left? You can make an argument. Was there anyone left for LSU to go against this season? They're winning these games by an average of 10, 15, 20 points in some instances. The offense is scoring 40 points. The stout defense, perhaps the defense not as stout as previous years, but still very, very capable of holding opponents down. So what was next for LSU really to play? Perhaps a game against Ohio State might have been interesting, but you know, Clemson was able to get past Ohio State, and really, if you look at it objectively, Clemson could not hang with LSU for 4 quarters. We saw that on Monday night. We saw their respective defensive coordinator, Brett Venables, and obviously Dabo Swinney, who's won plenty of championships. They've done well, but even they could not hang with LSU for 4 quarters, particularly their defense. They had, you know, a couple unique looks on defense to sort of puzzle LSU in the beginning and hold them down. Remember, LSU was within deep to begin that game. It was really forced to punt, and Clemson took a 10-point lead. That 10-point lead, the largest deficit LSU faced all season. But Clemson just didn't have the firepower on offense, and they didn't really have the firepower on defense to hold LSU down. Another interesting fact about the teams, you know, LSU never trailed in the fourth quarter of the season. Think about that. Not only were they winning games, they were really dominating games, and that leads to the questions of, was this LSU team, was this season the best season in college football history? And of course, you can make a strong argument for that, and then you can move on. Or if it was the best season, was it the best team in college football history? Was it better than some of those maybe Miami teams, those Nebraska teams, some of those Alabama teams we've seen? And really just the argument can be made that LSU was the best of them all. Really super talented on both sides of the ball, led by their Heisman Trophy quarterback. I know there's a lot of talk about Joe Burrow and where the #1 draft pick and how many players, LSU could be looking to set some records, some team records in terms of most players drafted in a single draft, most players taken in the first round. It's not just Joe Burrow, it's Justin Jefferson, and it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, think about the season Clyde had here locally in Catholic Baton Rouge. I mean, Clyde was such the heartbeat of this team. You could argue, think about some of those runs he had against Alabama in the fourth quarter to seal that game, where he just fended off an Alabama defensive back and just powered his way into the end zone. I mean, Clyde was really, Joe was the superstar, but really Clyde was the horsepower behind that offense. I mean, you could make an argument that they wouldn't have been as successful, certainly, without Clyde. And then on the outside, with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Now, Jamar will be back next year. Justin Jefferson has announced he's entering the draft. Lloyd Cushenberry, another, probably, everyone knows Lloyd's name, but really an underrated player on that team. The center of that offensive line, a really, really solid offensive line. So Lloyd will be moving on to the draft as well. So, we can think about next season at another time, but really it'll be an interesting season next year and time to celebrate this championship here today with a parade that started and it's making its way through campus now as we speak. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, some players you also will see hitting the draft next year. Grant Delpit will be off to the draft, probably a first-round pick. But then on the flip side, I think Derek Stingley Jr. will be back next year. Just a true freshman, Derek Stingley Jr. He's on some Heisman watch lists already. And so really, Patrick Queen, the linebacker, Jacob Phillips, the linebacker, will be gone. They've declared for the draft. So there are a lot of pieces to get through, along with the new defensive coordinator as well. And they've set just quite a standard here today, and we're hoping we can see a lot of those players today as the parade rolls through. So in the parade starting right now, we're a little bit at the end of the route. It's not a terribly long route through campus. It's the same route, I believe, actually, that the team takes on game day as they march down the hill in the band as well. So a short parade route again. We're trying to, the university had said they wanted to keep this not too long, obviously, with the challenge of the weather here today, but again, we're looking good so far. But the parade will come down Victory Hill. When the parade is over, the celebration shortly after will begin in the PMAC, and there will be a special celebration there as well. You can see the band has started to make its way around the traffic circle here by LSU's Manship School. The police officers, their sirens, and their lights have arrived, so the parade is arriving, and you can hear the screams of just everybody getting out their camera phones. You can see on the end there, Matt Flynn, a championship-winning quarterback, holding the flag and the pennant there, leading the parade. Matt was obviously the quarterback of the team that won in 2007 for Les Miles. And really, it was a really solid quarterback for him and his team. And I'm sure he's overjoyed today to be able to lead the parade, representing that 2007 team. We can see the LSU cheerleaders are arriving. That special flag, that special logo, you can look at it, you see a hint of the Superdome in there. LSU doesn't like to win championships outside of New Orleans in 2003 and 2007, and now 2019 championships have been won there. So the friendly confines of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And here you can see the Golden Band from Tigerland arriving with the drum major and the Golden Girls, and we'll just take a listen. As the golden band from Tigerland passes us, y'all, we'll see some of some trucks and some of our first floats make the way. Can't see quite yet, but I'll tell you, I can see Mike the Tiger, and Mike's really launching some cups and some beads, it looks like. So we'll see here in a moment some of the festive floats that we're expecting today in this parade. If you guys can check out Mike the Tiger, if you wonder what Mike is wearing, that would appear to be a goat costume as a tribute to Joe Burrow, the greatest of all time. Mike dressed up as a goat here in the Hancock Whitney truck. It's pretty clever. Mike never disappoints with his costumes, and the goat is a great touch. At this float, y'all, we have Mayor Sharon Weston Broom. In the back of the float here, we have College Football Playoff Chairman Bill Hancock, and that looks to be Southeastern Conference Commissioner Greg Sankey on the float as well. Some city dignitaries, some national championship dignitaries, and the conference commissioner as well. So it looks like we're in a little bit of a break here, y'all, as the other floats catch up. We've seen so far the streetcar float with some officials, Greg Sankey and Bill Hancock of the College Football Playoff, East Baton Rouge Mayor President Sharon Weston Broom. The marching band came through, and we were treated to them playing while they were here, some Tiger Rag and pregame play. The loudest cheers we've heard all day today is when the band was a little bit past us, as you saw, and struck up pregame and did the sort of the four-corner salute. So this crowd is very excited, and I have a feeling you'll You'll hear some more volume here in a minute when the players start to arrive on their floats. It's always fun in these parades to see, the spectators have a great time watching the parades, but really the folks on the float have a great time too. Can you imagine being an LSU player? You played in front of packed crowds at Tiger Stadium, packed crowds at the Superdome, packed crowds in Atlanta, but really is this one of the best crowds you played in front of? Is a packed championship parade crowd. I mean, when you're on a float just seeing this, and these folks they're here to see you, it must be pretty special for those players and coaches. They know they've been appreciated, but really I think this is probably just another point to drive home from them, how much this fan base really does adore them and love how they played this season. So I think about it too for even the marching band. The marching band plays in big New Orleans parades. They march there. They march in big parades around other areas as well. So really, I mean, I bet if you ask them how they feel about marching in this parade, this probably is at the top of their list. Familiar round in campus, but we've never quite seen campus like this before, lined up for a championship parade, really, with folks 10 and 15 rows deep. We're here at the Manship School of Mass Communication on LSU's campus, and it is packed, y'all. It is packed from the grassy berm sloping down to them. There's really no place to go, so it is a full house along the parade route here at the end as we get toward the PMAC. Now, when the parade is done here, the celebration will go into the Maravich Center, and where it'll continue. The party will go on. The doors there have opened. It will be interesting to see if the crowd there fills up the whole Maravich Center. Once they're in there, they'll have some regular seating arrangement. They'll have some floor seats for dignitaries. I imagine there'll be some video presentations, some speeches by perhaps Coach Ed Ogeron and Joe Burrow. That really should be a great scene. If you had the ability to be in the PMAC last night, probably similar scene to the gymnastics meet last night. Gymnastics in the PMAC beat Auburn in front of more than 11,000 folks in the PMAC, so I imagine we will get close to that number of folks here today in the PMAC for the championship celebration after the parade. But here comes, looks like a few more floats, some more LSU police officers to lead the way. Probably have a handful of floats left. Obviously, we haven't seen the players or the coaches yet. We've seen some floats with some guests from Hancock Whitney, some city officials, Greg Sankey and Bill Hancock, the Golden Band from Tigerland. But we'll get to see the team and the players here soon. Good to see here a handful of former athletes marching in the parade, holding their, Ed Ogeron's made it a big point in his tenure here to involve former players, really inviting them to become part of what they call the Tiger football family. His mantra, one team, one heartbeat, but if you were to ask some former players, they really appreciate Ed Ogeron opening up the program to folks who used to play here. It means a lot to those guys, and you can tell throughout the season if you come to some home games and gone to the parade down Victory Hill, every game they have former players who march with the team, and I can promise you they appreciate that treatment from Ed Ogeron by inviting those players back. So there'll be some familiar faces on this float, y'all. We have Steve Ensminger, Bill Johnson. Looks like the first lady of LSU football, Kelly Ogeron, is on the float. Oh, and there's Ed Ogeron. Toward the back of the float there in the purple shirt is Athletic Director Scott Woodward. SEC Network and Baton Rouge native Peter Burns is on the float as well, so imagine that experience for those guys to ride in this parade to celebrate the championship. Ed Ogeron sure looked like he was having a good time. I didn't see him at first. He was crouching a little bit. I was wondering. I saw his wife Kelly, and there was Ed. I mean, just the biggest smile we've seen on Ed's face. You have to imagine being a native of Louisiana, guiding this team to a championship, and then leading them in the victory parade. Probably doesn't get much better than that. That for Ed. He's become a legend. He's become a living legend here in Louisiana. If you win a national championship at LSU, that's just the way it is. Looks like we're getting a look here at some of the players on offense on this float. You see Jamar Chase there at the top of the float with the sunglasses on. You know, we spoke earlier about players enjoying this as much as the fans, with the amount of them on their phone right now. Parnell Thomas right now, local from Southern Line, leading a big LSU chant. But a lot of those players on their phones trying to document this, they're just excited to be on the float as folks here are to see them. So really, really a special time here today at this parade and celebration. Here on this float, we see Jacoby Stevens, some members of the defense. Rashard Lawrence. Also on that float, I don't know if you saw him, is lead dancer and sax specialist Marcel Brooks. If you've seen some of the videos of LSU dancing, Get the Gap, and those type songs, Marcel Brooks has become the ringleader of that. And so it's been great to see, really funny to see those guys just having a a great time. Obviously being 15-0 and national champs makes it a little bit easier, but just a real festive atmosphere today at the parade. Coaches will always tell y'all part of the team is the equipment and support staff. That float coming through here now, guys that work behind the scenes to really make the team look first class. And I know for a fact the players appreciate those guys' work, so good to see them having a float here as well. Some athletic training staff coming here as well in this next float. The front of the float right under the number 6, you may say that's Jack Marucci, the head athletic trainer. You hear Ed Ogeron really speaking in high regard for Jack and the work he does and the forward-thinking attitude he has with helping players and healing them and getting back into action. So again, good to see a float with the support staff and the athletic trainers being able, they deserve a part of this too. This float up coming here, number 7. It's led by, in the middle there's Tommy Moffett, strength and conditioning coach. Again, more support staff. Nice to see them being honored, a big part. Some folks you may not hear about again all the time, but a big part to this team's success, and particularly in the offseason, Tommy Moffett, been here a long time with you. Les Miles as well, and really runs a very thorough offseason training program for those guys. So nice to see the strength and conditioning staff also being honored in today's parade. And so we'll come now, y'all, and take a look at the parade from the other side. Look at the crowds there. Some really, really strong crowds. That is quite a picture running down Victory Hill, and that parade will end, and they'll go into the Maravich Center, where the celebration there will continue. So everyone, will leave you with this lasting shot going down Victory Hill. What a great parade to see the players and the coaches and to celebrate the national champion LSU Tigers. The celebration will continue in the Maravich Center. We'll break down our equipment here, and if you'd like to visit theadvocate.com or NOLA.com, we'll pick up video inside the Maravich Center here soon. But we hope you had a great time. Hope you enjoyed the live coverage presented by Hancock Whitney. We thank the folks at Hancock Whitney for sponsoring this today. And go Tigers, what a season. We'll see y'all next time.